I'm Kathy from Sweet Fern Organics, and I come to you from my dingy basement again. And today I wanted to talk to you about soil block makers. Now, as you may or may not know, I'm a newbie at market farming. This is our first year, so everything we do is pretty new to me. So when we were going to do soil blocks to start our seeds, I was looking up videos on YouTube on just what soil blocks were and what the soil block makers are, because I had no idea and I wanted to find out. I wanted to be a little bit prepared for what we were undertaking, but as it turned out, I couldn't find very many videos on YouTube, or actually none at all, that just went over what the soil blocker was. Now, if you're unsure, this is what I'm talking about the soil block maker. I wanted to figure out or find out what the heck this was, because I really had no idea. All I was really able to come across was how to make soil blocks. I'll link our video on that in the description, but I could not find out just what the components of a soil block maker were and how to use them and what we were supposed to do with them. So that's what brings me to this video. That's why I made this, because if I could help someone fumbling their way along trying to start seeds and plant, and even for your garden or starting a business, I would like to do that, because I know it would have been really helpful for me to actually know what the parts were and kind of just get familiar with it. So if you find this useful, please give it a like and subscribe, and I'm going to just go right to the soil block makers, a different angle, an above view angle, mostly because I'm in this dingy basement and the lighting will be better. Okay, so I'll see you with the soil block maker. So first things first, the soil blocker itself, this whole contraption, is called the form. The form. This one in particular is a 2-inch form. I've tried to label these to help make it as simple as possible, or at least as straightforward as possible. We'll see how it goes. Now, as you can see, these forms come in different sizes. This is the 2-inch. Back here we have the 4-inch form, the Big Daddy. It's also called the Maxi Blocker. And right here, this little guy is the Mini Blocker, and it's a 3/4 inch form. Now, there are 2 factors which influence the block size that you choose to use, and they are, number 1, the type of plant, and number 2, the length of the intended growing period prior to transplanting. Okay, so 2 factors influence which size you choose: the type of plant and how long they are going to stay in the soil blocks before they get transplanted. A larger block, like this Big Daddy 4-inch Maxi Blocker, can even get it all in one shot. This would be used for early sowings or when your planting outside is likely to be delayed. So it gives the plant a lot of room to grow. So it gives you a little extra time. Whereas this little guy here, this little 3/4 inch, also called the Mini Blocker, would be good for germination and very short-term propagation, like in the summer or fall. We're actually currently using this for our lettuce. The shorter duration in there is better. Okay, so for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use this guy because it's all labeled up, the 2-inch blocker, and the 2-inch blocker is used for just normal seeding. So now that we know about the sizes, now let's just get to the nitty-gritty of the actual soil block maker, or the form. So under the form here, you have the press form plate, which are these, let's see here, and on these sits a pin. I'll give you another angle. Right now, this is the cubic pin in this plate. Okay, so form, press form plate, and pin. So I'll just turn it over here, since we're going to talk about the pins right now. Now, these pins in my hand are called seed pins, and they're just little tiny pins used for starting seeds, like what you would grow crops such as lettuce, cabbage, onion, or tomato. Small seeds, so it just makes a dimple in the soil block and you can put your seeds in it. So these are just small little guys, the smallest ones. And these guys here, which you can see, are the same ones that are in this 2-inch, are called cubic pins. Now we just potted up some plants. That's why they're in the bottom of this form. And the cubic pins are used basically to pot up, so that you can pot up a smaller block made with like one of the mini blocker into a larger block. So it makes a bigger dimple in the soil block, so you can transplant this whole block directly in the hole. Now we're going to make a video on potting up, hopefully for next week, so stay tuned for that. And then these big long ones are called dowel pins. See, they're longer than, I'll compare them to the seeding pin. Compared to the seed pin. Oh, get my big fingers out of the way. So, substantially longer than the seeding pin. And the dowel pins are used to make a deeper hole in the soil block so you can put cuttings in them from another plant. So, like long and thin, so like a root structure can go in there. So there you have the 3 types of pins for the soil block form, the soil block maker. So I just wanted to show you how easy it is to get these pins in and out of the soil block maker off of the press form plate. Oh, sorry about that squeak. So you just press, sorry this lighting is awful, but you just press them in like that because they have a little plastic on them, and you just throw it in. Not throw it in, you just press it in. Just like that. Pretty easy. And that's it. That is basically the soil block maker, the parts in a nutshell. Okay, so just for a little recap, I'm just going to go over the parts of these different, of the mini blocker and the maxi blocker, just for a little recap, I guess. So this is a little 3/4 mini blocker, and this is this whole structure is called the form. It still has the press form plate right there, and these little pins aren't removable, right? There's one size only, so there is no removing them. That's it. So form, press form plate, and the pins. And for the maxi blocker, 4-inch, it's the form, and then underneath is the, it's like a dark tunnel under there, giant pin, and the press form plate is back here, if you can see. Okay, so pin, press form plate, the form itself. Okay, so that is about it. I hope that helps. If I've left something out, or if you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below. What do I do with my hands? If you found this video useful, please give it a like and subscribe, and maybe share it with your friends if you wanted to. Maybe they want to learn about soil block makers. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.